Right, change of plans. Actually can't think of a way to kill myself. Probably. Two, we got a merecaster that I want to use.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
the shit pools, there's two of them. Why? The one is all used to get our little potions. Why have the second one? I think because one of them is going to kill you.
To action!
So I'm gonna give that a try, and I'll use the merecaster. We'll go to the Memovira after this. But it would be a bit risky to use the merecaster now. Because it's probably Mazov's merecaster. But at the same time we probably want to use it now because
Fair enough.
before we go to the encounter. Yeah, why two pools? Okay. The game loaded something.
Yes. Now.
Thing in the pools, right. There's no villa thingamajig here. Again you raise the yellow fluid to your lips. It's clear that the effects of your last drink still haven't worn off, and imbibing more of the fluid is likely to make things even worse. Yeah, drink the fluid. You take another long drink of the yellow water. The Bloom's voice grows louder still, drowning out your thoughts, chittering madly in your ears. The world blurs, you stumble and collapse to the ground, and everything goes dark.
I
Yes.
can't die.
So... Ah. But it... How does that work? It seemed to imply that the thing that kills you isn't the water, it's overdosing of the water. Anyway, don't care. There should be quite a few changes here, in fact.
Yes.
Right, Seria,
Now.
Choi, Artaglio. Hello, Artaglio. How you doing? A hazy form of Artaglio, the captain of the Irregular, stands here. He's staring around the calm as if trying to place what he's doing here. He holds up his hands and stares at them, through them. So, winding up in a place like this is not what I was expecting when I decided to fight you. He's mastered his anger, it seems. If this is to be my fate, I might as well make the best of it. Share a drink and form a connection with Artaglio. Talk to him. What a place you have here, Castov. All of you have one of these in your heads. I'm hearing all kinds of whispers, you know, like there's more in here than we can see. Tell me about yourself. Tell me the story of your life. I doubt it. He thinks, his eyes squinting shut. I'm remembering wars and women and laughter. One time we rolled into a town that was supposed to be hostile, and they threw us the biggest party. After a while we all got black drunk, even our sentries. We woke up stark naked in the morning, surrounded by mud as far as the eye could see. No sign of the town, no buildings, no inhabitants, and we never could find it again. Lost my favorite boots there too. Any other stories? Too foggy to remember any more, Castop. I'll let you know if I want to tell some. How you doing? I can't sleep. I hear screams. They follow me wherever I go. Yeah. Share a drink. A bottle forms in his hand. He passes it to you and you share its contents. A wave of tipsy contentment washes over you, and you feel your body's muscles subtly adjusting to the memories and experiences Antaglio reflection offers. Cunning. All companions in short range gain +5 initiative, +15% willpower, +10% on persuasion task, +20% damage. Okay, I'll take it.
I'm going.
We're not here for you. Right,
Of
Erritis.
course.
Erritis. What exactly were we doing? It's been so long I don't recall. Confront Erritis' audience in the labyrinth. Yeah, there were two types, Paragons and the Cathartics. Erritis, this timid, realer version of your companion, flinches as you approach, and yet there's a slight flicker of color in his eyes. The creatures tormenting him are watching you and laughing. Erritis, I want to talk to the Paragons and the Cathartics. Erritis' head snaps back with a crack. His arms shake, trapped at his sides. A dry rattling comes from deep in his throat. Slowly he looks back down at you. One pupil is a vast flaming red, the other a muted indigo. I think the flaming red is the problem. He's a bit too passionate. He's going to self-destruct because of that. We need to balance them out, I would imagine. So instead of a vast flaming red and a muted indigo, we want something that at least is closer to each other, whatever it is. You are speaking with the audience, says the countless booming, curious voices from Erritis' mouth. We are not sure why. You should be watching the hero with the rest of us. Yeah, audience is the red. He's endangering the rest of us with his antics. No, he's not. I care about him, I suppose. Then you should let him fulfill the purpose we have given him. His voice is softer, slayer, almost hissing. Before he was nothing, a herd of useless animals. Now he suffers, and in suffering inspires. He was insignificant, and now he is wonderful. Stop interrupting the performance. Let him find his destiny. We will move on after he is done. That isn't good enough. Erritis' multicolored eyes gleam and he folds his arms. We do not mean to offend, but there is nothing you can do about it, so leave us alone. Or we will make him cut his own throat. No, we won't. This is why you aren't in charge. Eyes blink out of sync. Know that we are not many, not anymore, but we have claimed every particle of his body. We hold them in our claws. To remove us is to tear him apart. That is actually true. We want to make you an offer. Bargain. Stop interfering with the performance and we will increase the excitement, drama, and suspense. We will make the hero more powerful. Audience stretches Erritis' neck from side to side. What do you say? So he's just gonna die faster. Why are you asking me? Why do you need my permission? Yeah, I don't understand why you're asking me. You don't need my permission. I'm not sure if I want to say that, but I am curious. No, of course not, but we are interested to see what you choose, if you will betray the hero. We never had the opportunity to engineer our own twists or speak with the outside audience. This is a new experience for us. We hope you say yes. And if I say no, will he know if I've said yes? The hero? Never. He will be as happy as ever, just more powerful than before. The one inside your mind, however, will suffer, weep and dwindle until he falls silent. Cathartic say, sighing happily. A perfect ending. Can't you just leave him alone? I don't think I want to try that. Why would they? We can't get them out of his body anyway. I think we might be able to get it to a compromise, but it would have to be in their benefit too somehow. Making him more powerful will burn him out quicker, won't it? Of course, the Paragons say, sounding puzzled, though Erritis' face is completely blank. We weren't trying to hide that. It was obvious to us. The indigo eyes flicker. Instead of living for years, the hero will die in months, and he will be more useful to you. The red eye flares. Do we have a deal? Uh, can't you just leave him alone? Impossible. There is no him anymore. If we leave, he will collapse into a pile of fleshy bits. Actually, we would like to see that. Yes, we know you would, but we are running a performance here. Will you accept our bargain or not? This makes no sense. He's your host, your hero. You gain no benefit by ending his performance early. The audience falls silent for a long time. But you are trying to end his performance as well, aren't you? No, I need him with me as long as possible. You have grown attached to the hero. Excellent. You pay us a compliment. Erritis' multicolored eyes look away from yours bashfully. And you make a valid point. The hero has never been more interesting than he has been with you. We are thinking that we should listen to your concerns. Fears. Another moment of long silence follows. We offer you a new bargain. We will recede, but not reduce. We will avoid shouting. We never shout. We were talking about we, us, not you, us. Our apologies. Erritis folds his arms. We will see what the hero makes of himself when we do not guide his every step. Is this agreeable to you? Uh, yes, that is acceptable.
I'll remember that.
Done. The audience says together, and the lights in Erritis' eyes shrink beneath the man's pale blue glow growing cooler. Unbidden, a sigh of weeping relief escapes Erritis' mouth. Now, what else do you want from us? Um, we can ask. What exactly are you? Erritis bellows laughter and chuckles softly at the same time. You called us. Named us. We are the audience. The voyeurs. No, that's the wrong word. The perfect word. Stop it. You are wrong and we are speaking now. The creatures in Erritis stretch his mouth into a merry grin. We are the Paragons. We control the body. Our heroes make the world a hopeful place. The smile slowly fades. We are the Cathartics. We lie beneath the mind and guide his thoughts. We do not believe in hope. There is no hope. There are only those that suffer and those that are pleased to watch. Erritis straightens. This vessel came to us damaged, boring, useless, afraid. We are saving him from cowardice, fear, because we are healers, voyeurs. No, we aren't. Stop saying that. Who created you and for what purpose? We don't know. Care. We were created and unleashed to be entertained, to watch and to punish. That is what we do. Why are the Paragons dominant over the Cathartics? Because when the Cathartics get a hero, they throw it off a cliff or into spinning blades or a volcano just to hear it scream. Lies! You have done all those things and you know it. How did you meet Erritis? Interesting, infuriating question. Do you want the long or the short version? We prefer the short version. We aren't asking you. Give me the full version. A long time ago, we were part of a greater swarm. Paragon says over a multitude of minor groans. We were not limited to single heroes. We blessed armies with our voices and sent them against each other to entertain and inspire the world. Cathartics grumble to themselves. We filled the world with hope and excitement, but all people talk about were the dead bodies everywhere. We weren't sure why. Our heroes were hunted down and destroyed. Our swarm was tampered with until we could no longer reproduce. Then we were sealed in a dark place until our hero, your hero, found us. Paragons beam with with Erritis' face. It was his destiny. Not talk to Erritis. Be our guest. Erritis blinches and the light of the audience fades from his pale blue eyes. Erritis' opinion of you has improved. I couldn't hear anything, Erritis says, shivering. It was like I was dead. He chews his lip, but he feels calmer out there. I'm not in control, but he is. Erritis trails off in confusion. I'm not making any sense, but I feel better, safer. Whatever you did, it helped, thank you. He even manages a slight smile. What else do you need from me? Very well. Okay. So, it wasn't particularly important. The important part was, I suppose, if we made a choice.
Of course.
Are we gonna get a boost, or are we gonna get a guy that actually might survive this? I'm not sure how important the boost is. What I mean is it just a boost for the rest of the game, or is it actually means that the guy dies before the adventure ends?
I'm ready.
It's sort of irrelevant to my character though. So. And we need to do the merecaster too. The goal would be to learn as much about Mazov as possible, but I don't particularly want to change the past. This merecaster is hot to the touch. You feel the click and whirl of countless mechanisms moving beneath your hands. The urge to explore the mere within is as palpable as thirst. The clicking of the mechanisms and the device is a rhythmic thing, like a drumbeat, like soldiers marching in perfect, helpless unison. This could be bad, but because we're supposed to meet the guy and first next, so this could be very bad. Hopefully it's more of a learning experience, so we might maybe get new options. As your consciousness coalesces, you find yourself in an underground bunker which is shaking from an attack far above. You stand mid-salute in front of a cast-off encased in an articulated metal carapace. He's so skeletal you doubt he could move without it. You remember his name is Slovak, Page Reken's second in command in the endless battle. 3 advisors sit behind him. Slovak shakes his synth-encased head and addresses you. Don't worry about the message, Barricale. It's been rendered moot. We're just lucky Commander Reken made it out of Mielavest alive. She missed the destruction of the sanctuary by moments. Oh, okay, this is very, very recent. Barricale. A thunderous explosion rocks the bunker, sending everyone staggering. Barricale actually was, I think we met her when we got to the, what was it, the Tomb of the Heroes. There was cast off there that was delivering a message. I think that this is her merecaster. As you can see, we have troubles of our own. Slovak says, getting back to his feet. Judging God's latest ploy has paralyzed the reconciler of truth. Of course, Haven's rejoinder remains functioning, which means we cannot reverse their successes, while they can reverse ours. He leads you to a strategy table showing a three-dimensional projection of a battlefield across parallel realities. He swipes through several images. All of them show your armies on the verge of defeat. I don't know if we want to get any kind of a victory out of this, even if we could. What we need is basically to at least hold this, so things don't get decided, I think. He shakes his head. We are in more danger now of losing this war than since the first died. I'm afraid I must send you out again, Barricade. We must save the reconciler. I have no idea what they are. Paralyze the reconciler of truth and Heaven's rejoinder remains functioning. I suppose they're basically both sides' tools to alter reality. Ours doesn't work while theirs does. I don't want to ask that. That's what I don't think he would ask that, or she rather. How did the massacre at Mila West happen? How did the massacre at Mila West massacre happen? How did the shields come down? I don't know. Maybe the sorrow finally grew strong enough to smash through. Maybe there was a traitor. I have heard nothing. Okay. I'm not sure if I should ask this. What are the reconciler truth and the heaven's rejoinder? I'm ready to serve. Excellent, says Slovak, and turns to his advisors, all cast-offs, you notice. Burns, what are your suggestions? How do we undo what has been done to the reconciler without using the reconciler? A scarred female cast-off in red armor speaks up. I recommend an all-out assault on the position of Heaven's rejoinder. This will of course fail, but it will give cover for Barricade, slip through the pass of the white nests, and reach the rejoinder from behind. There she can reset it, then destroy it. She can reset it, then destroy it. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I probably should have asked the question. She pounds the table. Then we will be the only side who can change history. A male mutant, exquisitely beautiful, except for the second mouth on his throat, speaks in melodious hum. I suggest Barricade use the reality storm that ravages no man's land to find the reconciler's saboteur. If she can navigate the shifting shards, she can stop the saboteur before he reaches it. So stop the saboteur before he saboteurs the device, and yeah, this is getting hard to follow now. He shrugs. This will only return us to status quo, of course, but it will be easier for Barricade to deal with one man than the deadly white nests. Any other suggestions? asks Slovak. When there is no answer, he turns to you. I approve of either path, as it is you who will face these challenges. I leave it to you which you will choose. What do you say? We want the status quo, but we'll choose that. Saboteur. Tell me more about these white nests. The white nests are the catacombs where the Chalcedon breeds his Stratarian war moths, right? A horrible place. I don't know what the tunnels were originally used for, but now they are a tangled mess of webs and lava. It's filled with traps, since the enemy knows the tunnels are a vulnerable approach. But the real danger is the moths themselves, horrible creatures whose phosphorescent glow withers the flesh and maddens the mind. Once they sense your presence, they will not rest until you are dead. It won't be an easy approach by any means. Reality Storm. We and the Changing God have used the reconciler of truth and the heaven's rejoinder so often that at such cross purposes that there are places in the no man's land between our front lines where no single reality holds sway. Fractured ripples of possibility rift across the field like squalls of rain, changing all in their paths and offering entry into other times and versions of the present. And of course, once one enters a different version of reality, then all the shards one encounters in that reality are different too. He pales. It's the less deadly route, but it's still possible to be lost forever in such a maze. I will find the saboteur before he breaks the reconciler, no matter what time or reality he does it in. Lovak nods and looks at the others. Any objections to Barrichel's choice? I approve, says the cast-off with 2 mouths. It can be done quickly and the risk is low. And if Barrichello is lost, says the cast-off in red armor, we can try to assault I suggested with someone else running through the white mist. Very well, says Lovak, standing. Barrichello, these are the gloves of the saboteur. You use these, their scent and their tides to navigate the shards and find your man. Under heavy guard and with force shields and temporal randomizers in place, Lovak escorts you to the edge of no man's land. It is guarded with trenches and thick with roiling smoke, but more unnerving are the drifts, shards of time and reality that cross it like summer storms. In one, great armies move; in another, towering constructs with glowing eyes burn the homes of fleeing villagers, and on and on. Lobak points ahead. There, somewhere, is your path. Use your instincts to hunt this villain down, but take care. Too many jumps and you will enter realities where the storm is fading and the shards closing. You could be trapped in a distant reality with no way back. You thank Lobak, then walk toward the storm of shards, holding the saboteur's gloves in one hand. Strange as it seems, the scheme seems to be working. Some of the shards do not have the right smell at all, and you are able to discount them entirely. Some are harder to decide upon, but eventually you are able to narrow it down to three: a moonlit lake, a canyon full of glancing sun, and flitting shapes, and a storm of swirling chaos. Uh, wouldn't this be the storm of swirling chaos? So it would be this type of battlefield. Um, but we don't necessarily have to get rid of the person just before he takes care of the device. We just need to kill him somewhere. Sunny Canyon, maybe. Huh? You stand at the edge of sunlit canyon watching an aerial battle between naked men and women strapped into wood and cloth gliding wings. Half of the wings bear the colors of the Changing God, the other half bear the first. The flyers slash at each other with long razor poles, trying to tear fabric and flesh, and every now and then a wing goes spiraling down into the canyon. You see the shard storm swirling on a mesa in the middle of the canyon, and race for the bridge that leads to it. 3 shards feel promising. A dense forest at night rolling farmland and the setting sun, and a muddy battlefield with rain. So, forest. In a dense forest, a company of tall, golden-skinned warriors in ceramic armor are making a last stand against a swarming horde of small, blue-skinned barbarians in furs. Both sides are armed with swords and spears, and both have holy men who cast spells of fire and darkness at each other, but their colors are switched. The golden warriors fight under the banner of the changing god, blue under that of the first. Though the trees you see are shifting shards of reality storms, and you edge around the battle to them, but only one matches the scent of the clouds, the one you just came from. You step back into the lip of the sunlit canyon and face your choice again. Ah, farmland. You step into the landscape of peaceful rolling hills, dotted with sleepy farms and pastures. Farmers still toil, Farmers till the soil around looming red outcroppings that you at first take to be boulders, but then see what the fuck? But then see are the rusting remains of towering constructs, now overgrown with saplings, shrubs, and flowers. Children play on them, fighting with sticks and calling each other Chalcedon and Rechem. On a hillside walled up and untilled, the shards of the reality storm still twist and mingle. You make your way to them by hedge-grown lanes, but only one matches the scent of the clouds, the one you just came from. Yeah, muddy battlefield. On a muddy battlefield battered with rain and littered with bodies and broken mantis war constructs, the Chalcedon stands with the rest of his command as Pashreken and his generals kneel before him and she offers him her sword. All around this scene, the Chalcedon soldiers are leading away Persia's surviving troops, both cast off and human. There aren't many left. Most are dead on the field and being picked over by murdered corpse thieves. Beyond them, you can just see the reality storm's shifting ripples. You hurry through the rain toward them, and as you get close, three of them seem better than the others. A glimmering swamp, flamed giant bonfires, and frantic battle. Ah, for fuck's sakes, go to the battle. The chaotic battle churns around you. Soldiers in the colors of changing gods fight soldiers in the colors of earth, with swords, sonic lances, and slug spitters. A lancer falls dead before you, shot through the heart, and you stare as you see that she has your face. You look up to see who killed her and discover that her murderer also has your face. She isn't the only one. Every single soldier in both sides of the battle look exactly like you. You race toward the reality storm, fighting barricades from both sides as they try to kill you. Finally you reach it, but only the shard you left matches the scent of the clouds. Bonfires? In the glow of the raging bonfires, huge teams of slaves hold on ropes, dragging two 50-meter-high wheeled statues toward each other, as overseers crab whips across their backs. The statues are crude representations of the changing god and the first made of painted wood, and upon each of their heads stands a hero, cloak flapping, sword at the ready, screaming amplified insults at the other in a language you do not understand. You don't wait to see the statues and their heroes collide. Instead, okay, glimmering swamp. Yeah, this is I guess this is a sequence that you either get right with enough tries, or within the accepted amount of tries, or you fail, and that's the end of it. So this probably will just end up in a failure. On the other hand, it was just the safer path, so even if this catastrophically fails, they still have the other path and they can try with someone else. It is night. You are hip deep in a stinking swamp, watching hideously mutated primitives flee through a maze of reeds and drooping trees as soldiers in the colors of the first stalk them, firing beam weapons. You back into the shadows as two of the soldiers pass your position, and you see that they are not human, though they walk upright on their hind legs and have paws with opposable thumbs. They are Seski hounds, somehow evolved into humanoid shape. As the hunt vanishes again on the night, you see the shimmer of reality storm through the trees, but approaching it, you find there are far fewer shards than in earlier realities. And Lovak's warning comes back to you. You are making too many jumps. If you take too many more, you could wind up trapped in a distant reality. Still, you find three of the shards that seem more likely than the rest. Gloomy battlefield, arena full of roaring crowds, and a maze of grimy grace. Uh, Maze. Yeah, this is just I have no fucking way of knowing beforehand when I'm going, and they don't seem to be in any kind of particular order. So this is just basically me rolling a dice and seeing if we're gonna end up lost or getting to our goal. You are on a grimy street on a city of grey brick. Plastered on every wall are posters of the changing god, looking noble within underneath the mutter, unchanging. A troop of armored police march past. People cringe back from them. You step into an alley and find yourself among a ragtag gang of the colors of the first, who watch the police, then change out behind them with makeshift weapons. Charge out behind them, yeah. Oh, we chose poorly. Guess we'll go to the gloomy battlefield. Only ooh. Yep. A train of transport sleds lies onto to a stop on a desolate battlefield, and Padrekin steps out with her command and look around. For as far as the eye can see, the field is covered in corpses, both outcast and human, burned to sticks inside their uniforms. There are no living troops at all. The only movement is the roiling smoke that rises from the broken hulks of shattered war machines. Hush chokes to see it all. "Is this what victory looks like?" she asks, and then hangs her head. "What have we done? What have we done?" Off to the west, half hidden in a grey haze, the reality storm churns. You edge from view and scurry toward it. As you near it, you see, looming within a shard, the massive form of a reconciler troop. Without hesitation, you leap through. Okay. Landing near the reconciler, you see none of the guards who usually protect it, nor the walls or doors that shield it. In fact, it isn't in the chamber at all. Instead, it seems to be in some sort of a bubble outside of time and space. You circle it and find, crouching by the far side of it, a wiry man in dark armor, focused on cutting through its metal skin. You recognize him as Zerok, one of the Chalcedon's wiliest operatives, whom Barricale has entangled with more than once. As you creep up upon him, he whips around a wand. He throws his hands in front of him, bleeding. "Runa, wait, hear me out. I have information you need to know." Uh, Medium weapon initiative. You can't trust her not attacking. I'm not. The problem is I have no medium weapon skills or initiative, so yeah, 0%. Good luck with this shit. Do 90%. Attack him. You lunge at him with your sword. He tries to parry with the displacer wand, which would teleport you 2 paces in any direction he desired, even into rock or metal. But you evade the stroke and run him through. He collapses, bleeding onto the ground, and you cut his throat. The reconciler's truth is safe, at least for now. Um, Thank you, sir. I'll head to the Bloom now, or I do not wish to go. I want to continue to serve you. I don't understand am I saying that, or is it the character saying that? What the fuck is this talk about serving? I'll head toward the Bloom. I guess, yeah, thank you, sir. I'll head to the Bloom now. "Thank you," says Slovak. "My regards to the commander." Without I basically decided where I'll go. Do I go to the Bloom or do I go to the continue service? With a bow, you leave the bunk. Yeah, it was very confusing because I'm still staring at this picture and I'm apparently in a totally different parallel situation. With a bow, you leave the bunker and make your way to the Z-Drake roost. There, you mount the Drake the grooms have saddled for you and fly towards Sega's cliffs. When you reach it, you bank down into its shadow and the land near the living, glistening mountain of flesh that is the plume. The guards at the nearest orifice tell you the way to the Memovira's fortress, and after entering and traveling through the blooms, viscera, and ventricles, you reach her gates. Her guards admit you without a word, and you are ushered into an antechamber and told the way. From behind a door, you hear the voice of Paj Reken raised in frustration.
If the sorrow is strong enough to enter Miel Apes, Harsh is saying, and it's our primary enemy, we must either finish the changing god quickly or unite with him to destroy it.
The voice you recognize as the Memoviras answers.
You have it reversed, sister. We will use the sorrow to destroy the changing god. All we must do is turn it his way.
Harsh groans.
And I'm to take this message to the survivors, that they should let the monster which killed us walk free, hoping it might strike at our enemy first. Why don't you tell them, sister? Why not reveal yourself at last?
The door slides open and the Memovira enters.
It isn't time. I...
She cuts off as she sees you.
Who is this?
Harsh enters the room behind her, then nods.
Ah, Pericale, the loyal blade you asked me to send for, and it seems she has already learned your secret.
Memovira gives you a hard look.
Then she had better be loyal indeed. Introduce us. Pericale, may I present the first, our brave leader. So brave she's hidden behind my skirt for over 100 years. Enough, Pash,
Snaps the first and then looks you over.
I asked Commander Reckon to bring me her best, for in the coming days I will have need of an agent who will act without flinching, no matter what the order. Is that you, Pericale Bruna? Are you ready to do anything to stop the changing god?
Who am I loyal to? I can attack her, which my character would not do. Um, Loyalty to Pash. Or loyalty to Memovira. They had difference of opinion. Memovira is going to try to use the sorrow to attack changing god. Pash is basically more focused on maybe uniting against the sorrow. I'm honored to be chosen, but my loyalty is to the commander I have known all these years. I will do as Pash orders. First looks from you to Pash and back thinking.
And I shall have to trust that Pash remains loyal to me, won't I?
He turns to Pash.
General, are your orders for your blade?
Pash faces you, squaring her shoulders.
Pericale, protect the first and follow her orders in all things. As of now, she is your commander, not I.
As the first welcomes you, a force like a fist starts to wrench you back from to your own body. Last thing you hear is your new commander saying,
The last child is coming, Pericale. We must be prepared.
well, I suppose we can expect company. I don't particularly care though. They haven't shown anything too dangerous so far in this game. Uh, at the same time, our tactics has always been for combat evasion or just dealing with the enemy long enough so we can move forward. So maybe I should rest
Yes. Now.
just to heal up, get everything we need. We're not going against some random murders or things like that. We're potentially fighting against multiple ancient cast-offs. I think that warrants a little bit of precautions. What would we lose? We lose some permanent buffs. Actually no. We lost them when we died. So we have nothing to lose.
All right.
We could... How much money do I have? 900. We could buy one of those drinks that's being produced in the certain slum. That could provide a until you rest type of buffs that are substantial. But I don't think so. Yeah, can I sleep here? I have no reason to do that.
That's more like it.
So I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna... Ooh, your intellect is... Right. I'm gonna rely on our own
Here
abilities.
comes the boredom slayer.
If it's not enough, it's not enough.